Hi everybody, so this is like my reaction video to Carla's CDCR visiting video. It was a good video. She's very funny. Highly recommend. I'm gonna probably post this in the comments on her video to add in a couple of things that she either might have forgotten or was trying to find and she couldn't remember. So she posted a video about a year ago and I came across it because again, I know that there are people that are probably visiting a CDCR prison for the very first time ever. And so my husband's at one called Centinela State Prison in Imperial, California, which is near the cities of El Centro and Brawley. So we've been to 3 prisons in the past 6 years since I became a prison wife. I've been visiting him for like maybe 2.5 or 3 months before we actually got married. We got married rather swiftly, but that's a video for another time. Well, actually, I've already made that video on my channel, but yeah. Like she said, things can change rather swiftly from like when she posted like a year ago. The money limit, as far as I know, is different. It's $70 per visiting adult and $40 per visiting child. Again, I can really only speak for Centinela. I don't know if in other facilities they've changed it to like plus or minus, like less than that. That's just what we know, the information I have. Let's see. Like she said, I mean, I'm also in the state of California. I visited 3 prisons. I have visited my husband at High Desert State Prison that is in Susanville. From LA to Susanville is about a 10-hour drive, no joke. The views are amazing though, so it's super far, but it has amazing views, mountains and lakes and other beautiful things other on the way over there. Again, we got married there, so I have a certain like, you know, like feeling for that one because we got married there. Ironwood State Prison in Blythe, California. It's near the border with Arizona. When you're there visiting, at the end of visiting, I highly strongly suggest getting gas in Arizona because it is way cheaper to get gas in Arizona than it is in California. And from Blythe to Arizona is, I think, like 10 miles or less. I don't remember. I remember that Arizona was really close. Like the border town, like Blythe borders with Arizona, and I remember getting gas there a couple of times and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it's way cheaper. So highly recommend that. Centinela State Prison in Imperial, California, near El Centro and Brawley is where we're at now. My husband's been there for I think 3 or 4 years now. I'm not really sure. I don't exactly keep count exactly when he arrived. As Carla mentioned, there are definitely rules to follow, and I had no idea how or why, but definitely at Centinela, they know when you're a first-time visitor. They either don't recognize you or they just see how green or how nervous you are. I have no idea how they spot new people, but they do. As she mentioned, do not wear any shades of blue, green, or camo. No low-cut shirts or super fitted shirts. But the strongest thing, the most important thing that she did forget to mention about the bras. So highly recommended to get a sports bra with no metal in it whatsoever. So a sports bra that is literally just like fabric. A fabric sports bra is what I highly recommend if you can get one. If not, a lot of people have said that they've revamped their bras from Victoria's Secret. Old bras that they've had forever, just, you know, remove the underwire, make sure that the little round things that hold the straps in place, all of this, that you either remove them or that they're plastic. And then the back pieces that, you know, the hooks that keep the bra together, again, either remove those or make sure that they're plastic fixtures. You can also definitely wear like Spanx, again, as long as Spanx are just full fabric and no, there's no like nothing on the inside. Unless you know for a fact that the inside is made out of like little plastic pieces, then again, I don't recommend any kind of like corsets or things like that. That corsets are more than likely gonna have metal on the inside. And if you set off those alarms, they will send you back to your car to change, or maybe not to your car, but to the Friends Outside, which is that thing that she forgot, she couldn't remember. friendsoutside.org. You can visit that website to find out more information, to donate to them. They are a really good organization that they run by donations, and that is a place that you can legally go inside their area and you can go change clothes. They have clothes there that you can borrow in case you didn't bring an extra change of clothes and they said you have to go change. They also have nicer bathrooms than the processing area. It's one big giant bathroom at Centinela State Prison, but it is much nicer inside their bathroom than the one at processing, which usually is absolutely disgusting by the end of the visiting day. But As she mentioned, you should just definitely, your goal on your very first visit should be to get into the prison to visit. So I have always recommended what she said, wear all black. All black is highly recommended. And I have a little thing that I say, the blacker the better, the baggier the better. It's just recommendations that's just the best you can do. And like she said, on your first visit, your goal is to get in there and take a look around, see what other people are wearing, how do they act, how do they react. Just kind of note it. Don't straight out stare at people. Like, this is kind of like, obvious if you're just like looking at someone for way too long. I don't recommend doing that, but just kind of take a look around, see what other people are wearing, other visitors, see what they're, notice what they're wearing. If you do have any questions, I've found that in a general manner of speaking, most ladies visiting at Sentinella are very friendly and willing to help you out and welcoming. I can't say that for every prison I've ever visited. Not every single person that you will encounter is friendly. But if you ask a quick question like, hey, where are the pens located? Oh, well, usually we have pens like right on top of like that phone booth that is no longer used. There's like a public phone. I don't know if it functions, but I know that that's where we keep our pens. Let's see. Yes, mentions friends outside. Okay, sorry, looking through my notes here. Amount of money mentioned. I believe I mentioned maximum $70 per visiting adult, $40 per child. When I say per visiting adult or per visiting child, I mean that the person that you're going in there to visit, that the inmate or the incarcerated individual that you're going in there to visit, they're not. There's not an amount of money that's permitted for them. I, as my husband's wife, if I'm going solo, I bring in a max of $70. I don't necessarily have $70. So when I'm able to have our regular contact visits, that means I can, hug and kiss him briefly upon seeing him at the beginning and end of the visit, all that. Well, those visits, I would usually take $50 because $50 used to be the last max amount that they had. And taking in $70 on every single visit was hard on me financially. So there you go. I recommend taking in $1 bills, $1 coins, the coins that are kind of about slightly bigger than a quarter. They look kind of golden these days. Or you could take quarters. So like I have my, stuff to show here. ID. $1 bills. I know people know what $1 bills look like, but like as she showed and showcased, dollar bills and a good number of quarters. You can take, I highly recommend taking quarters for the vending machines at Sentinella because sometimes the vending machines have their moments where they're not going to take dollar bills and they will only accept coins, or maybe even vice versa. So because they can get full. Let's see, she mentioned that, yeah, you need a clear plastic baggie. So this is kind of my clear plastic baggie. It's kind of relatively small, clear, see-through. That plastic baggie is for you to hold on to your ID, your car key, and your money. She mentioned that you could take medicine. I really don't know what the rules are at Sentinella for taking in any kind of medication. If you don't need it during the visit time, then I recommend just don't take your medicine inside. If you do need it, like she said, she mentioned having a doctor's note. Obviously, that's important. I recommend calling the visiting staff in advance, like before you visit, call them up. So the main Sentinella phone number, you can, Google search it, say what is CDCR or Sentinella State Prison's main phone number, and it should pop up. And then to get to the visiting, through the prompts, when you call the main prison phone number, you press 1 for English, you press 1 for visiting, and then you press 1 for visiting again. That should get you over to the visiting people. I can't guarantee they're going to answer the phone. They're not really great at answering the phone, so you might have to just kind of keep calling, maybe like, I'm not joking when I say like 10 times to get a response. The early appointments or the regulars who visit every weekend, as she mentioned, they are likely to get terminated first due to overcrowding. That is, again, not a bad thing. Usually they'll either mail you a piece of paper, you'll get a piece of paper at the end of your visiting saying, hey, you were terminated due to overcrowding. That's okay. You just visit the next day, or the next day you're able to visit the following weekend, whenever. We use a system nowadays called VSA. It's a website, not VPass, for contact visits. That's where you would go about a week in advance to make your appointments. At Sentinella, the non-appointments, aka the walk-ins, they usually let people in about 2 to 4 hours after the appointments go in. So after the people who had an appointment go in around 8:30 in the morning, you wait around another like anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. I've known at Centinela that more recently, within the past 1 or 2 weeks, they actually let people in walk-ins around 10 a.m. But I mean, sometimes they'll stick to the 12 p.m. noon thing. Like, you know, they'll stick to their noon thing sometimes, again, depending on who's there. As she mentioned, there are short tables. The tables are not very, like, tall. I promise they're maybe they're like about 2 feet tall, I think. I haven't had contact visits in a long time, so someone else might have to, like, you know, speak to that matter specifically. And